Alright, hello everyone, this is 707 Bros Town with another video. This time we're gonna draw Charizard. So this is how he ends up looking like on screen. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, let's get started. And I'm gonna put the reference right now, that way it can make it easier for you guys. So you guys could know what I'm talking about and just make it easier for you guys. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna start with this egg shape right here. And the better you guys make the shapes, the easier it'll be, because we're gonna base the drawing off these shapes. So the closer you are on making them like I do, the better it'll look at the end, you know what I mean. So we're gonna split it in half, and then we're gonna extend the line right here. Don't extend it that long, it's probably half the length of the egg shape, and then we're gonna make this line right here at that angle, and that's just gonna be for the head. Don't make it that long, because if you guys make it really long, then it's just gonna look weird at the end. It's probably right here, like I split the egg shape the other way. I extend the lines just because those are gonna be helpful for the wings. So you guys could do this line, just don't press too hard because there's gonna be a lot of erasing. Alright, so now let's do the shape of the head. It's just basically like an oval, and it's probably the size and length of one of the squares, like here I point out. So it should roughly be the length and size of one of those shapes. And now we're gonna do these lines for the neck, and the reason for that is because the shape of the neck, or how long the neck is really gonna affect the drawing, and the shape of the head, how big the head is, because this is the third time drawing Charizard, or trying to draw Charizard for this tutorial, because the first time I finished the whole drawing, it took me over 20 minutes, and then at the end it just looked really weird. That the neck was too long and the head was too big, so I wasn't too happy with it. So I ended up changing it. And then right here I do these oval shapes for the leg, although I end up changing the one on the left because I did it too high. So as you guys can see, it's a little bit bigger than the one on the head. So yes, just try to make the neck not that long, because it's just gonna make the drawing look weird if you guys do it too big or too long. And also for the head, as you guys can tell, the length of the head is closely the same length as the neck, and the neck is probably around half the length of that egg shape. So now that we got these shapes, just try to make them as close as you guys can. Pause the video so you guys can make it, so you guys can take your time. Right here we're gonna do another line splitting the tip of the egg shape, and then we're gonna split half from there, from the middle to that line that we previously did, and those are just gonna be for the arms. So all these lines are just reference lines. So don't press too hard, because like I said, it's going to be a lot of erasing. So right here I do another line right over the head, going across, and that's just going to be another reference line for the wings. Just like these lines go off right at the neck, where like the neck meets the oval shape, the egg shape. That's where these lines begin, and the line that we did at the top is just to help us make the lines the same length. And then the wings are not necessarily going to be like that. It's just to help us place them. And then right here I start doing the shoulders. Like I said, we're using those lines we did from the egg to know where to place them. So it might be confusing with so many lines, but just remember that most of those lines are just reference lines. You guys don't have to make them this dark. I make them the same dark as the other lines, just so you guys could see them on screen, because some of my videos, some of the lines are not that noticeable. So that's why I made them a little bit darker. But I recommend you guys don't press that hard on all these lines, just because there's gonna be a lot of erasing. So right here it's just the shoulders, and we're gonna use that same line that we did at the middle of the egg shape, just so we can know where to start the hands. And as you guys can tell, what is that? The forearms are a little bit thicker, fatter the closer they get to the hands. So just keep that in mind. I didn't like how that arm looked, so I changed it. So it has like this little shoulder area, and then the hand. So just keep in mind that he's not gonna end up looking 100% like the reference. There's some changes that I make, not because it wasn't gonna look the same, is because I prefer them. You know what I mean? So now around halfway that wing, we're gonna make a line. I make a big line just so you guys can see it, but you guys don't have to make a line. Maybe you guys could just make a small dot, but that's just to help us know where to curve the line on the wings. So the wings also have this like shoulder part, and then right here I make it too going too much to the right, so I end up changing the angle of that line right there, right here. So just use those lines or those points at the middle of those lines, just to help you guys know where to curve the line. So like I said, most of those lines are just reference lines, and the reason I'm doing all these reference lines is just so the drawings could be more accurate. The size, the proportions could be a little bit more accurate. Maybe some of you guys don't need them. If you guys don't need them, you guys don't need to then don't put them, you know what I mean? But I decided to make them just to help some people, because some people might find them useful. So as you guys can see, both wings are not 100% the same. So don't, if you guys want to make them the same, you guys can, but in this this time I'm gonna try to keep close to the reference. So now we don't need them, we can start erasing them, just to clean it up, because some of these lines might confuse us during the video, maybe some of you guys, so maybe you guys could just erase some of those reference lines to clean up the video and just make it a little bit easier. So now we're going to start with the body, and this is where I said to make it as accurate as you can with those shapes, because we're going to use those shapes to make the rest of the drawing. So I like where I placed those circles and lines, so I'm gonna use them. If you guys didn't do them the same, you guys don't have to follow those shapes 100%. Those are just to help us place everything else, but the closer you are to the shapes, the easier it'll be once you start doing the extra drawing, like right here. So just keep that in mind, and right here I just erase all those extra lines. So now we could erase these lines in the inside, just because we don't need them no more. And you can erase the ones on the top, but just leave the one in the middle where the bottom of the arm is, just because it's gonna help us place the belly, the stomach area, the belly. So starting from this leg, we're gonna make the belly shape, and I don't know if it's the same as the reference, but I'm gonna put it from one point of the leg to the other one, and just kind of make it like the top of a neck. It's not a circle, or if it doesn't look the same for you guys, I just make it work for you, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the same. Alright, so now I'm gonna do the other leg, and just try to make both sides the same thickness and everything. And then right here for the knee area, as you guys can see, there's straight lines, sharp straight lines. And then this one goes down a little bit, because basically what we're doing now is just getting a rough sketch of it, and then once we get the rough sketch, we'll work on the full drawing, because you guys will get a overall look of the drawing, and it'll be easier for you guys to notice any mistakes, and then it'll be easier for you guys to change. So it's just one of the feet. I just try to make these lines right here or these shapes. Don't make the foot too big, too long. Just try to look at the reference, that way it'll be easier for you guys. Because I really doubt that everyone's gonna their drawings are gonna end up the same as me or as the same as the reference, because everybody's different, you know what I mean. Everybody has a different level of drawing, and it also has to do a lot with the age. So if it doesn't come out the same, don't be discouraged. Charizard's honestly a hard Pokemon to draw. Alright, so now for the face or the head, we're gonna draw the straight line going from the line from the neck, the right one, and then just draw a straight line. And then we're gonna make this other line right here a small one, and we're gonna make a rectangle with it. You guys will see what I'm talking about right here. So right where the curves, just make a rectangle, and then we're gonna that's just gonna be for the snout. And just try to be accurate right here, because we're gonna base the whole head off this shape right here. So now from that corner, bottom right, we're gonna do another line going parallel, if I pronounce that right, with that line on top, just because that's gonna be the mouth. Alright, so now we're gonna do the area at the top where the eye is. So we're just gonna follow that neck line, and then we're just gonna end it around halfway, I guess, that line that we did it at the beginning. And just try to get that shape, and then the eye is basically the same shape inside of that one. So we're using that same line we did at the beginning to help us place the eye and just make it look better. And then for the spike that he has on the top of the head, I think I end up changing it. It's roughly the same length as halfway the line that we did at the beginning for the head. Alright, so now that we got that shape, we can start actually making the actual shape of the head and face and the snout. So the points where the nostrils are, it's a little bit pointier, so just curve it up a little bit. And then also for the bottom, that line right here, it meets up like at the middle. So if you guys make a point at the middle under that line, they should meet up like right there, and that's gonna be like the mouth area. I do erase it right now just so you guys can see a little bit more clear. So this is where you guys could tell if you guys are doing the head too big. And if you guys are doing the head too big, I recommend that you guys erase it and rewind the video, go back and start all over. Because if you guys make the head too big or the neck too big, it's not gonna look right. So right here is the same shape, but without the reference shapes at the beginning. And then for the mouth area, right before the eye starts, it goes down, and then it makes kind of like a triangle shape, and then it goes back up. Erase it right now just so you guys won't see the reference line, because like I said, the reference lines tend to make it a little bit messy. There we go. So some of those lines, reference lines, tend to get in the way. Alright, so now we're gonna do kind of like a little lip. It's not that noticeable. And then we're gonna do this like the jaw area or the bottom of the mouth, and then just try to get the shape as accurate as you can. There's no easy way to show you guys, or tell you guys, I mean, how to do it. And then roughly around the middle of that, just do a straight line just for the bottom of the mouth that meets up with the neck. So this is gonna be one of those spots that I'm pretty sure not a lot of you guys are gonna end up doing it the same. But like I said, if it doesn't turn out the same, maybe you guys could make it work for you, or if it does, then just go with it, you know what I mean. And if it completely doesn't look right, the head's too big, the neck looks weird, just erase it and start all over. And now for the teeth, which are really small, and just try to make both of them the same size. You guys could use the reference for a better example. So now we got the face done, the head. I could do the actual lines for the neck, since I like where I place those lines at the beginning. Like I said, the closer you are, the better, the easier it'll be once you do the actual drawing. So since I like where I placed them, I'm gonna use them. Maybe for you guys it doesn't look right, so you guys could just fix it. You guys don't have to follow the shapes at the beginning 100% if they didn't end up matching or looking right. Those are just there to help us. Alright, so now we're gonna do the rest of the wing. So we're gonna do them all the way to that line that we did at the middle, the egg shape at the beginning. Remember that we split it in half and we extended those lines. So we're gonna use that line just to help us know how far to do the wings. And right here I use this paper and mark it with the pencil just to make them the same length or far apart from the body. If you guys don't have a ruler, then you guys could just use this easy way to do it by using just the paper. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Like you guys can tell right now, I don't make it to that point exactly. That's just kind of like a reference, like it's just so we can know where it should be around, you know what I mean. And now for the actual, like, I guess the bones of the wings, the actual wing, because the rest is just skin. This is like the actual bone. The actual wing is basically the same line as the top. On the reference, there's areas, especially on the joints, that gets a little bit thicker than some of the areas. So you guys could do it the same as the reference, but I don't do that here because I didn't think it was 100% necessary. It's just small details that you guys could use the reference. If you guys want to do it the same as the reference, you guys can, or you guys could just do it like me and just make it a little bit thicker on the joint areas. Not that much, it's not that noticeable, but it is a little bit. So right here for the other side of the wing, we're gonna mark some points. I'm looking at the reference and roughly I'm marking points where the what's called the joints are of the wing, where it curves. And as you guys can see, on both wings it's not the same. On the right one's a little way lower than the one on the left, and there's usually just two. And now we're gonna use those points to connect both the top of the wing with that. And then that's just gonna help us know where the joint is and where to curve the line. And then this is the bottom. As you guys can see, I didn't follow that line the reference line that I did at the beginning, because like I said, it doesn't have to be 100% the same. And as you guys can see, it's not a straight line, it's not a curved line. It is a curved line, but it's more of a dented line. It's going in a little bit from joint to joint, except at the end it curves the other way. Maybe you guys could look at the reference, it'll be a better example. Right here I'm just erasing all those lines. We don't need them no more. That was just to help us know how big or how far to make the wings. It just makes it easier on us. I'm sorry if it sounds a little bit complicated, or it looks complicated. Basically they're there just to help us know where the joints are and make it easier. You guys don't have to do them if you guys don't need to. Just look at the reference and try to make the wings your own way or your own style, or just by copying the wings off the reference. But I do this just to make it easier and more accurate, and make the wings more proportioned to everything, you know what I mean. So right here on the wing, the actual wing, just try to be accurate on the thickness on both wings. Don't make one wing way thicker than the other one. It's just gonna look weird in the end if you guys do. So just try to stay a little bit closer to the same thickness on both sides. So right here I do another line roughly around the shoulder area from one side to the other, and that's just gonna help us to do the inside of the wing of the skin, just so we can know where to curve down again. And it's roughly not exactly under that spike, it's a little bit to the side of it, and that's just to help us know where to curve down. And just make sure you don't go lower than that line that we did at the beginning of the middle of the egg shape. So you guys can use the reference just to be a little bit more helpful. And as you guys could tell, I don't do exactly the same as the reference. I do 3 points. On the reference, it's not necessarily the same. Some of these points aren't noticeable, but like I said, it doesn't have to be the same. Right here, I did it on purpose. I didn't want to do it exactly the same as the reference, since it's not going to turn out the same. So right here, I just started doing the hands. The hands are probably the part that gave me the most trouble, and especially this one. I ended up making it really weird. It looks like he got his hand caught in Pincer's mouth. You guys will know what I'm talking about right now once you see how I did the hand. Look at that. Look at the fingers. It just looks really weird. So I erased him. So maybe you guys could use the reference for this just to be a bit more accurate. And right here I'm just doing the fingers. And one of the things that you guys need to remember is that try to make the fingers the same thickness, and same length. Don't make one longer than the other one and one fatter than the other one, because it's not gonna look right in the end. And it goes for the same thing on the other side. Try to make both sides even. Right here I'm just doing a rough sketch of the hand. I'll get more into details after I've done most of the drawing, which I have already. The thing that I do miss is the tail. I ended the video because right here is just a rough sketch for you guys, and I leave that for you guys because all those small details aren't necessary for me to show you step by step, because you guys could just look at the reference and get all those details from there. So I'm gonna make the reference bigger on screen. You guys could pause it just to get all those small details, and just to make the video a little bit more shorter, since it goes over around 30 minutes. So I end up forgetting the tail, but I do record the how to draw the tail, because I stopped recording and I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I forgot the tail. So I do end up drawing the tail in a little bit. Right here I'm just fixing the claws, and just remember to do the claws the same thickness and length and everything as the other ones on both sides, on both feet. Right here I'm fixing the arms. Alright, so like I said, I forgot the tail, so I'm gonna start the tail right now. And if you guys remember the middle line, I'm splitting that over in the middle. We're gonna use that line or point to do the tail, and as you guys can see, it doesn't look the same as the reference. And the reason for that is because it all depends on how you did the leg. If you guys didn't do it exactly the same as the reference, then it's not gonna line up the same, you know what I mean? So right here I'm going over the leg just so I can know that it's gonna meet up on the other side perfect. And maybe you guys could just do the tail your own way, you know what I mean? Try to stay close to it, but if it doesn't meet up the same, then you guys could change it, you know what I mean? Doesn't have to be the same. You guys could make it work for you. And this another part where I change it, I make it work for me. So since the tail roughly goes around there, I make it around there, and then it should be around there also. So as you guys can see, I made the tail work for me. I didn't try to copy exactly the same as the reference, because if I did, it wouldn't look right. So there's just changes that you guys can make just to make them work for you, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the reference. You guys could just use the reference as a reference. So right here for the tail, for the fire, you guys could just make this shape right here. That way, once you start adding the fire, the actual details, you know how big to make and how long. Basically, it's gonna be around the same size as that circle. So yeah, so now this is how it ended up looking like. My final drawing after I did the details. I fixed some of the lines because this is the time where you guys can notice anything that doesn't look right. You guys can make the changes. For me, I like where I placed everything. I just did some minor changes. The forearms, I changed them a little bit. The hands, I added the nails. The fire, like I said, I just used that shape at the beginning to make the fire. I try to stay close to the reference, but I didn't do that 100%. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the same. And then I just added the details, and the details is what makes the drawing, is what makes it pop out, is what makes it stand out. If like during the video you guys were like, oh, it doesn't look like Charizard, once you do the details, it'll look like Charizard, you know what I mean? So right here I erased all those reference lines, for example on the eye, on the head. As you guys can see, it's still noticeable a little bit, but I erased the lines. I added the small details on the wings, the fire, the tail, because like remember the underside of the tail is a different color, so I did it throughout the whole tail. I added some of the details, for example on the neck, on the jaw, on the little tip of the wing at the top. There's just the small lines, that just small details that make it stand out. And overall I think it turned out okay. You guys can use this drawing as a reference, but I'm gonna put the actual reference big right now, so you guys could pause the video there and you guys could use that reference for all your details and any minor changes that you guys might want to make or need to make. You guys could use the reference now that you have your overall drawing, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put the reference right now, so remember to pause it. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys paused the video. If you guys did it, then go back and pause it right on that reference when it's big and just look at it. So yeah, so hopefully your drawings turned out good. I hope I helped you guys. I hope this video was successful, in other words, because honestly Charizard was complicated, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't blame you guys if it didn't turn out the same, because it's never gonna turn out the same, you know what I mean? Not for everybody, especially for younger people who try it. The younger you are, it's gonna be the harder it is, you know what I mean? And it also depends on your skill or how much you draw. So just remember that. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't turn out the same. You guys could just start all over, you know what I mean? That's what I did. Like I said, this is the third time I drew Charizard. The first time I drew him, I got this far, but I didn't like how the head looked. It was too big, the neck was too long. So instead of erasing it, I decided to redo the whole drawing or start all over. And then ended up making the same mistake, so I had to restart all over. The third time was the charm, and this is the third time that I drew it. So like I said, it's just complicated. Sometimes you just gotta keep trying and not give up, you know what I mean? It's never gonna be perfect the first time. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't turn out alright or the same. Just don't give up, you know what I mean? And I hope I helped you guys. Just remember that it wasn't going to turn out the same as the reference, and I really doubt that it's going to turn most of you guys are going to turn out the same as mine, even though you guys follow step by step. But there's always just small things that just make it stand out or make it look a little bit different. So don't get discouraged and don't be like, oh man, it didn't turn out the same or anything like that, because he is complicated. There's just a lot of complicated Pokemon that is really hard to simplify, you know what I mean? Because this drawing, or Charizard, this is my own tutorial. Like this original tutorial, this is my own way of drawing Charizard. I didn't look up any books or anything how to draw Charizard, any other videos. I didn't do that. I just looked at, I picked the reference, I picked like a good pose, one that I liked, and a pose that would be easier to draw. And I just looked at the reference, and then I'm in my mind, I'm like, what's the best way that I could simplify the drawing to a point where I can make a tutorial of it, you know what I mean? What's the easiest way to make a video or to help someone draw it? And at the first thing, I'm like, well, what we could do the belly, the stomach area is basically like an oval shape, so we could start with that. And then for the neck area, we could just do 2 lines, and for the head, we could just do that circle. And that's how I ended up doing it, and I just went for it. And the first drawing turned out good, but like I said, the head was just too big and the neck was too long. And I could have left it like that, but I wasn't happy with it, you know what I mean? So I did redo it another time. So yeah, so I just hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you guys like drawing Pokemon, I have a lot more videos on my channel. I upload almost every single day on how to draw Pokemon videos, tutorials. Right now, as of this date, which is May 27, 2015. I have around 48 videos on how to draw Pokemon, 48 tutorials from starter Pokemon to Mega Pokemon. The Mega Pokemon are a little bit more complicated, so just keep that in mind that not all Pokemon are going to be easy to draw, but the ones that are easier to draw is, for example, it's some of the starter Pokemon. For example, the most recent that I've done is Froakie and Fennekin, and they're easier to draw than Charizard. Charizard is a lot harder than those, but those are pretty easy. They're pretty simple, and it doesn't take that much to draw them. So if you guys want to check those out, just go to my channel and look them up. I also have a lot of Pokemon. I have recently I've done Lucario, but he is a little bit complicated. Not as hard as Charizard, I think, but it takes a little bit more skill to draw him. Also done Lugia. Lugia is not that hard. He was way easier than Charizard, way easier than Lucario. But he's still a little bit, it takes a little bit skill to draw him. I've done Mega Gengar, which is really easy to draw, no lie. I've done Ghastly, Hunter, and Gengar, and most of those are easy. The only one that was, in my opinion, harder to draw was Hunter, but even then, he's not that hard, especially if you guys follow my steps. Remember, I try to simplify the drawings as much as I can, and the reason I'm doing all these videos because on YouTube, there's not a lot of videos where they teach you how to draw Pokemon. Usually it says step by step how to draw, for example, Charizard, but they don't go step by step. They either just show themselves drawing the video, like they speed themselves drawing the drawing. They don't actually give you step by step. They just speed themselves drawing it, and I don't find that useful. So that's why I started doing these videos. And there's other people that just trace the drawing. They have the drawing at the bottom, and then they do those shapes, just like I did, but they're just basically tracing the drawing. And I don't think that's, I don't know, I just don't like that, because although it's gonna be exactly like the drawing, but for some reason it doesn't seem legit. It's like taking the easy way. It's basically tracing the drawing, so that's not, I don't know, I didn't find that good. So that's why I started doing these videos, just to make them a little bit easier, and yeah, so just to help you guys out. So you guys can help me out by leaving any suggestions on how I could improve my videos. Maybe if I talk too much or I'm too annoying, just let me know, you know what I mean? Or maybe you guys could tell me, oh, you could do this to improve your videos, or that, or anything, like, because my first videos, the Mega Pokemon, they were around an hour long each. But I was going step by step and like live. As I was drawing, I was talking, and that's why it would take longer. Like right now I'm doing voiceover, so it cuts the time around half. So I'm just improving my videos, and the quality's way better than my previous videos, my first videos. So there's just small things that you guys can help me improve by just letting me know, you know what I mean? So yeah, so if you guys want to learn how to draw Pokemon, just make sure you check my channel out. I have Pikachu, Raichu, Pichu, Vaporeon, the Evolutions, Jolteon, Flareon. I have a lot of Pokemon right now on my channel, so if you guys want to go check them out, I suggest you guys go to my channel, just look them up, and just go through all my videos. And if you find one that you guys want to learn how to draw, then go ahead, you know what I mean? And if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, I'd be really happy, because that just shows me that there's a lot of people interested in my videos, and mainly that's what I'm doing the videos for you guys. So don't forget to leave a like, because it really helps me out. These videos take a long time to do, each tutorial, especially like Charizard. It took me around an hour in total, because like I said, I drew them 3 times, and usually for each time I drew them, it took me around 20 minutes. So, and then for that, so Charizard took me an hour in total for the drawing side, and then for the editing it takes around half an hour, and then for the exporting or the rendering it takes over an hour. Depends how long the video is. For this, I assume it's gonna be over 30 minutes, so it's gonna take probably like an hour and 30 minutes to render. So I have to wait for that, and then to upload takes around 15 minutes. So it does take a while to just under 3 hours just to get a video up. So it really helps me out if you guys leave likes, you know what I mean. It's not that hard, it's just pressing a button for you guys. So it really helps me out just by doing that. So so I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope you guys found my videos helpful, my tutorial. Like I said, go check out my channel for more videos. Subscribe if you guys want to get notified when I make a new tutorial. Like I said, I do almost tutorial almost every single day. And share my video, show your friends. Maybe you guys drew Charizard, for example, right now, and you go to school and you show your friends. You're like, oh, I drew Pokemon, I drew Charizard, I mean. And then they're like, how do you draw them? I want to learn how to draw them. Then share my video, you know what I mean. Share it on Facebook or wherever you guys can, just to get my videos out there for other people. Because like I said, I'm doing this for you guys because there's not a lot of people that do videos like me. And I just want to help everyone, because like I love Pokemon ever since it started. I'm 24 right now as of this video. I started watching Pokemon when I was a kid. I was around 8-9 years old. So I was there when Pokemon first started, and I'm still there, you know what I mean. Even now that I'm 24, I'm still into Pokemon, and a lot of people from my generation still love Pokemon, you know what I mean. It's just not little kids anymore. There's a lot of people that like it. And I'm doing it for you guys, you know what I mean, for everybody that likes to draw Pokemon. Because my nephew, my little brother, my niece, Angel, Mariana, and Brian, they love drawing Pokemon too, and sometimes they show me the drawings that they did from my videos, and it really makes me happy because like there's something that connects us, you know what I mean. And I don't know, I just like watching other people draw Pokemon. So if you guys have if you guys want to show me your drawings of how they turned out, just send me a link, maybe through a private message, or I don't know if you guys could still do that. I haven't seen that on YouTube. Or just post a link on the comment section of your drawing, and I'd be really happy to see it. So yeah, so I just want to say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Alright, 707 Rosetown out.